good evening, ladies and gentlemen, reasonable minds all over the world. Welcome to tonight's show. Yours truly is on the mic. Sydney Blessing Iwala, SBI. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, if you're just joining us from the other side of the Atlantic, the time now is 15 minutes after 8 p.m. here in Boston, Massachusetts of the USA. And I'm coming to you live and direct from one of my living rooms, okay? Not from the studio tonight. And I will tell us why in a few minutes, okay? I will tell us why in a few minutes. First and foremost, okay, let me start by apologizing for what happened yesterday. As you guys are aware, those of you that were on yesterday when we were live, I know that a whole lot of you came in after the show. And, maybe some of you didn't see the end of the show. You can see that we had like a 2-take show yesterday. That was not done purposely. That was because of what happened during our taping yesterday. Prior to our taping, I did announce that I'm having some problems with my network. Okay, on the side where my studio is, I'm having a little bit of a network issue, a reception issue. So lo and behold, yesterday it happened that during the show, during the taping, we were kicked off the air. Okay, meaning the reception was very bad. As you guys can even see from the taping, the reception was very, very bad. Okay, looking at the taping, and I think I wasn't seeing the taping. What you guys were seeing yesterday, I wasn't seeing it. I saw that after the show. Okay, and on my own side of the end, from my own side, it was clear. But on your own side, it was a little bit hazy. Okay, because of this reception issue. So, and to the extent that towards the end, as I'm saying, we got shut off. Okay, we got kicked out. We got shut off. So I had to quickly pick up one of my laptops and came to where I'm sitting now, which is one of the living rooms in my house. Where I'm sitting now to be doing this. I had to come up here to do this, to give you guys to continue. But by then, most of you have already left the show. Eventually, if you came back, and though I've seen a whole lot of you that came back to see the show afterwards. So that was why we had the 2 taping that you're seeing now on the platform. Okay, so it wasn't designed like that from the word go. So I'm still having that problem. I've called the network people to look at what they're going to do for me on that one, down at the studio. But the show must continue. The show must go on. You can see me looking down. The reason why I'm looking down, the camera is up, but I'm looking down because I'm paying attention to what you guys are saying or writing back or feedback you guys are giving me. That is why you see me, So the lighting is not that great in here and everything, so you can see the studio is different from the living room. Okay. But anyways, the most important thing is that we're having the show. I'm talking and you're hearing me. So everything is irrelevant at this point. Okay. So once again, thank you for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen, reasonable minds all over the world. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. Okay. If you're coming from the other side of the Atlantic, we are saying good morning. If you're here in the US, we're saying good evening and good afternoon. If you are joining us from Asia, any other parts of the world that you're joining us, to your greetings be it. All right. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have quite a show. We have quite a show, as you can see from from the banner we've posted so far. We have quite a show tonight. Okay, and we cannot stay away from the trending issues. Not only are they trending issues, but we really need to look at the impact of what is happening to the entire citizenry. Okay, so that is why we are doing some of these shows as we are. Okay, politically in nature and stuff. That is where Nigeria is now, and that's where we are. Okay, so we're not going to stay away from what is happening there right now. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, okay, There is a big fallout. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Okay, on the second part of that taping, we talked about a little bit about it, but there's a big fallout. Okay, from this announcement the president made during his inaugural speech. Okay, where he boldly looked through the camera and said to the entire 200 and something to almost 300 million people that the fuel subsidy is gone. It's gone. Okay. Now, we've been there before. We've seen this kind of. We've seen this before. We've been part of this before. This kind of announcement. Okay. There are a few things we're going to look into tonight on this announcement. Why it is just not an ordinary announcement, as there has been kind of follow-up or drawback. The president team is coming now to correct or make clarification on what the president said and why it should not be taken the way it's been taken. Okay? To me, this is Nigeria. They hear go, they don't hear come back. Yes, they hear go, come back. They don't hear that one. They don't hear that one. And it looks like some people are waiting for this kind of announcement, which is why the timing for me, and I think for every one of us, is a little bit off. Okay, the timing of this announcement is very, very, very off. I don't think they did their due diligence. Okay, I don't think the presidential team did their due diligence on making this announcement. Okay, I think it's completely premature, this announcement, because we can see the result. Okay, we can see the result now. This is what is happening in Nigeria, even at the second day of his presidency. Okay, so now, to him, is this what he meant? Is this what he envisioned? Did he envision this? Okay, yesterday I told us that I haven't sat on the wings, okay, of this presidency, waiting for his turn to come. Okay, these are situations he should have been able to conclude and figure out. Because, like I said again, we've been there before. We've been on this place before. During the Jonathan's time, when this kind of announcement was being made and the fuel subsidy was going to be removed, okay, this was the kind of run-up that people had on the fuel stations and fuel pumps. Okay, so his team should have been able to look into this, okay, do their due diligence, okay, have some kind of a contingency in place before such an announcement. And I don't think this is the best announcement he should have made that day. We were looking, what people needed to hear, they were things that are hopeful, not things that are going to be received the way it was received. And everything the president said that day does not mean anything to the regular and average Nigerian other than this. This is all they know now. This is the him they know, which is why this is very bad for him on a startup. On a start, this is very, very, very bad, honestly. I don't know who the speech writers were. I don't know who the policymakers are. Or no, if there was a meeting before he came out to announce this. If there were data being sent to his table before this, or was he just rushing this? Even under the circumstances that he is finding himself right now with the court proceedings and everything, this is not good for him. This is not good for him. Okay, but again, I don't want to go too deep into it because we're going to talk more about that. Okay, so we're saying that the timing for this announcement was very, 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 very off. Okay, and I don't know if he can. The team is trying to make light of it, trying to walk it back and stuff. But what you're saying now is different from what is happening on the street, and I don't know if just the saying is going to be enough. Because the scavengers are already scavenging Nigerians, as we can see. They're hoarding it right now, okay? They're hoarding the fuels right now, which they were not supposed to. in as much as NNPC has come out to say that there is enough fuel to be able to handle this matter in the next days to come, even, But I'm going to tell you what the presidential team are saying. I'm going to tell you what they're saying, okay, and what we're going to be expecting in the days to come. So we're going to look into that on the next part of the show, okay? Another thing is the Nigerian Labour Congress. They came out swinging. Yes. Yeah, Joe Ajero and his people, they came out swinging. There is nothing, every single thing, every single thing the president said on his inaugural speech, okay, they went by them one by one in his speech. They completely destroyed everything the president said. I'm going to try to, tell us some of them and show us some of them tonight. Okay, so the Nigerian Labour Congress, okay, is strongly against everything about this presidency so far. Okay, you can see what I said, what I had on the bottom, to the extent that they're saying that the Nigerian government should be ashamed of its incompetency. Okay, this is Joe Ajero, the Nigerian Labour Congress president, saying that they should be ashamed of their incompetency. So on a start, on a jump off, they're already incompetent. And that's the way Nigerians are seeing them now. On a jump off, they're already very completely incompetent. Okay, so this is not looking good. It's not looking good for them. But again, the man still has till, like I told us yesterday, till the tribunal does us part, if they will ever do. Okay, so he's looking at 4 years now to start. 8 years, you know what I'm saying? He's looking at that now. So to him, there's still time to amend some of these things that are happening right now. But it's not a good start. Okay, and we've not seen the worst start in the presidential history as we are seeing now. We've not seen that as we are seeing now. Okay. Another thing is Peter Obi's. Let me get it back again. Peter Obi's Lego team. If you're obedient to joining us tonight, to be honest with you, you should be a little bit worried. You should be scratching your heads now with what is going on in the courtroom. Okay, I've been saying it from day one. I've been saying it from day one. For those of you who are as old as our show, okay, been following us on this show, I've been talking about the Obi's Lego team. I said that this Levi Uzoku, or whatever his name is, the son, to me, he is not that fiery. He is not that fiery. He's not combative, And I was thinking that maybe the reason why he's keeping calm is that they have things. But 2 days into the game, okay, they are not giving us anything. I'm being honest with us. 2 days into the game, Obi's team, all they've been doing is, yes, they presented the evidence they presented yesterday, but it's chaffy. That evidence is chaffy. You guys saw how the opposing counsel were able to, dig into the Lawrence guy, the witness, in as much as they're not calling him the key witness, but he is the one that is heralding their case. He's the one that is jumpstarting their case as a witness. To the extent that during the hearing, a question was thrown to them: is this their star witness? Is this guy their star witness? And there's a reason why that question was asked. Because there's a couple of fumblings already going on. And this guy is a lawyer. Okay? He's talking about, so he's going back to 2022. So this guy should have been prepared before coming to that courtroom 2 days ago. Completely be prepared. But he came in there, first of all, trying to make corrections and all kinds of things. Okay? He was not looking good in front of those judges. And these are judges you don't want to give any little space to come against you. At the end of the day, they're asking for adjournment. They came yesterday, asked for another adjournment. Today, another adjournment. Come on! These are people that they are timing. They're only giving them, 3 weeks? Both prosecuting counsels, both the PDP people and the Obi's people. They're giving them, I think, 3 weeks to be able to prosecute this case. And so far, to the extent yesterday, let me not even go to, but Well, so far, because I've not prayed, so let me not go too deep into this, because sometimes I get carried away and start discussing the show without even starting it officially, the way we normally do here. Okay, but that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about what they are doing so far. Okay, and if we should be worried, including the speech. That speech from P2B, we're going to talk about that. We're going to look into that speech. Is that speech coded? That's another thing. That speech he gave, okay, before the inauguration, is that speech coded? And I'm going to show us the reason why I think so. Okay, there are so many things behind that speech that he gave that day. All right, so we're going to look into it, and again, try to refresh on some of the appointments that we talked about yesterday. Okay, so that's where we are. So, like if you are just new to us here, this is customary. Okay, we do pray before we start the show at every show since we started, and we are not stopping. Okay, so join me, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are. Let us pray so we can start the show officially. Father, we thank you. We bless you. We honor you and we adore you tonight. Thanking you for all that you've done for us this day. Hallowed be thy name. We thank you for this is the day you made. You gave us the authority to rejoice and be glad in it. Father, to and fro we walk today. You were with us. You did not relinquish us, neither did you abandon us. You were very much in touch with us, directing all that concerns us from where you are. We thank you and we bless you tonight. Father, tonight we gather this evening and we declaring that unto you shall the gathering of your people be. We're saying, blessed be thy name tonight. Father, therefore, we're saying, is there anything that will make this meeting tonight not to be a pleasant one? Father, we say, let that be taken away from us and forgive us in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, having accepted your grace and mercy, boldly now we stand in your court to have a time with you tonight. We're now asking that all that we will do tonight will render and will surrender unto you. We say that perfecting them one by one as you always do in the mighty name of Jesus. I commit your sons and daughters that are joining us tonight and those that will be coming after into your holy hands, coming in contact with you through this meeting. Father, we ask that your grace will continue to speak louder and louder for them. Your favor will continue to open doors for them, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus. We thank you and we bless you. We commit Nigeria starting from the head into your holy hands. We ask, Father, Lord, that you continue. Okay, Lord, we continue to make provisions for our president as he is right now, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus, directing him, okay, as the heart of the kings are in your hands, and you turn them whichever way you will. We ask that you tore and you stir the heart of our president to the right direction, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus. The hardship that are befalling our people this time, Lord, we commit them into your holy hands. We ask for provisions and we ask for your grace, abundant grace upon their lives and upon their situations, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you once again for all that you're doing and that which you're about to do tonight. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen and amen and amen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, reasonable minds. Thank you for joining us and still being with us. Okay. Who is on? Solomon, son, Rehoboam with 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. All right. So please, again, we are saying tonight, on our show tonight, the first thing we'll have is this issue of fuel subsidy, okay, that the president announced, okay. Now, we do say that it is understanding that is deliverance, okay. When we look at the announcement during his inaugural, the announcement that he made, and how people, the populace, because you see, with some of the things they're saying now about this, they're thinking that everybody is where they are financially. Because I've been hearing a lot of arguments about investments, and people have to deal with it for now. That is going to be better later. I've been hearing all those things. Okay, it depends on which side you are. If you are an investor and on the side of the investor, yeah, that might be working out good for you. Okay, and the case might be making sense to you. But if you're an ordinary Nigerian, which almost 95% of us are, Okay, there's nothing they say now that makes sense to us other than what we are seeing and what we are feeling at those gas stations. Okay, other than what we are seeing and feeling at those gas stations. Okay, they're making the case now that yeah, this is for economy, to improve the economy. This, and that the people people were doing fraud. People were doing fraud with it. It wasn't the fuel subsidy was not actually for the masses, that the people were taking advantage of. It was still them that were taking advantage of it. It was still them that were taking advantage of it. It was not the general. It was not the masses. It's not these people, ladies and gentlemen. It's not these people that are taking advantage of this fuel subsidy. Okay. So we are hearing trillions now, because that's the numbers we're hearing now. Trillions, not even in thousands. These people here are still talking about counting in hundreds. Look at. This is the Nigeria we know. These people are still counting in hundreds. Go through this place now, you're not going to see any of their guys, all those millionaires, all those, you're not going to see them on this line. And you will never do. You will never do. So this is the reality of the announcement. What you're seeing here is the reality. This is what we know. This is the reality of that announcement. Okay? And you say to yourself, Nigerians, it's like they know how to suffer. When I look at some of these things, that's one conclusion that I came up to. Even at the rate of 600, 700 in some places, 400, 500, Nigerians are still lining up. How much are these guys making? How much do they have? They're still lining up. The people that are talking, these people now, some of these people we see now are Okada people. So which means they are going to increase their fare. For who? Rich men, they ride Okada. The president and his people, are they coming to ride Okada? So none of these things means anything to them that did this announcement. These are the people. Okay, so we now speak from the seat of these people. I'm not going to speak from the seat of the people that are, the president, his people, or the rich people. I'm not going to speak from their seat. Okay. Okay. I'm glad you are saying what you're saying, Ango. I'm glad you're saying what you're saying. But you see, this is so bad. Nigerians are just coming out of the one we did in December, the one they did in December with the money this thing. Because every time they put these things in place, it's always the people that suffer. It's not them, because for them there is already a contingency for them. Anytime you see some of these announcements, they do claim it's for the masses. Anytime they put any of these things, they say it's for the masses. No, it's not. It's for them. And we now end up suffering it. They are not going to buy this fuel. This fuel you see now, they are not going to be paying this 600. That is how bad it is in that place, in that country. They're not going to be paying this 600, 500. No. Some of them, they bring this fuel to them and bring this fuel to their houses. Some of them don't even pay. They don't even pay. You are not going to see any of them. Worst case scenario, we see a driver that will come and sit here for 24 hours, 48 hours. A driver. And the moment that driver is noted from these guys, they try to make way for him to go and get for Doga. Nonsense. That's where we are. So when they start saying all these things they're saying, that the reason why they did it is to be able to curtail the West, that is wasteful, and is wasteful, that investors are not coming in because because of the West, they're not making money, they're losing money. They're saying all these things they're saying. And the kind of money they're talking about, like I said again, this money they're mentioning trillions or not even millions. They're mentioning trillions. Okay, that's what they're claiming now that is being lost through this fuel subsidy. That the average Nigerian is not even getting. It's only when it's like this now you know that Nigerians are really consumers. It's only when things like this happen, you now know that Nigerians are consumers. You see these people now coming out, buying all this fuel. Some of this fuel is for what? Most of them, 70% of them don't even have a car. It's for their generators. It's for their generators. So when you look at the cycle of hardship that the tops are creating for the bottom, when you look at the cycle of hardship they're creating, it's quite unfortunate. There is no good road, no electricity, no pipe-borne water, okay? Nothing. But these guys are enjoying everything and these things I'm talking about minus the good road. Because that it is only that bad road that they share with us. But every other thing they don't share it with us. Because they do have electricity 24/7. They have good water 24/7. Can buy anything they need 24/7. But an average Nigerian, 95% of an average Nigerian are not enjoying that and will never enjoy that. And they are the same people now, the president is coming out saying that he's carrying their mandate. And you came out to the first announcement you're going to make, like I said. The intentions might be okay, might be right, or genuine. The intentions might be genuine. Because what they're saying here on the case they're making about taking it off is that it has never worked, okay? That people were using it, that it has been a fraudulent situation. And another thing they're saying is this. Another thing the presidential team is saying is this, that what the president was actually doing was echoing what is already in statute. That's what they're saying. That the president is echoing what is already in the statute. Okay? Our leaders do not have the people in mind. You don't change currency, run a fake election, and impose subsidy. You can survive it. Yeah? Okay? I don't think it's going to end in August, my sister. Poor masses will continue to suffer in that country. I'm afraid of what is going on in that country. Quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate, people. People will buy to hoard and resell. People are at risk of fire for this art. Thank you. Hardship country is the name of that country of average Nigerian. Too bad. Okay. I hear you. I hear you, my princess. I hear you, Unga. I hear you. I hear every one of you that are contributing tonight. Okay. But again, when you look at what is happening, this is a country that's supposed to be a producing nation. The question is, why are we importing? And this fuel subsidy they're talking about, when we are importing and when we are exporting the crude, and this is the essence of having the refinery. Now, an individual, they paved way, they made way for an individual. Okay, they paved the way. I still don't believe we have a president yet. I hear you. That's to you, but we do have one. We do have a president. Okay, now they paved the way for an individual to build a refinery in 3 years. Think about it. An individual. Though there have been rumors surrounding that establishment. A lot of rumors are surrounding that establishment now. But it's quite unfortunate. So if an individual can build this in 3 years or so, and now look at what Ngo is saying, that he's about to kick off between July and August. So what they're doing now is everything here is cooked. Quite unfortunate. I don't even know if these people are thinking tomorrow. They think that they are here to live forever. They're thinking that this thing they're doing, that they're here to live forever. And they will come to a country like where we are now, and they enjoy all these things, enjoy all these benefits. Okay? But they will come back to their country and they will allow people to suffer like this. A country that God has blessed with everything. Look at what we're talking about now. Okay? An individual build a refinery. That country has what it takes to build, if nothing, 3 refineries. One in the east, which we know we have in the Port Harcourt, that will service the east. East can even have 2. down south, we have one in the south now. I mean, we know that now. We now know that we can build it in Lagos because Dangote now did. Okay. Now, and that is even there's another individual that is building another one in Calabar. Boa, and Dangote. These are basically two Nigerian richest men. Boa also does cement. Okay, as Dangote does. Now, Dangote did the refinery now. He's doing his own refinery now. So you can understand how these things are working. But he's doing his own in the east. But that is not even withstanding. You know, this is supposed to be from the source of the place these things are coming out. The price on that area, things are supposed to be cheaper. Like if you go to Texas that has oil, okay, gas is cheap in Texas. Gas is cheap in Texas. At least that place that is coming, but that's not how it is. In the east now, people are buying 500, 600 in the east. And this is where the gas is coming from. Because all these things are calculated moves to squeeze the general populace. Because this is what we're hearing now, what we're hearing now about this importation, okay, that's how they've been funding millions and billions and trillions. That's how they've been funding this money through this fuel subsidy, okay. So why are they still owing? If this money is being allocated, the point is, why are they still owing some of these people? Why are they still owing? The other day, an NPC is giving them a bill of 12 trillion. Now that's what the federal government is owing, and this fuel subsidy. Who are we going to ask? Agajuonye. Are we there when this deal was made? 12 trillion. 12 trillion. Look at the kind of money we're talking about. And people are going through this. People are suffering. Okay. So the essence of what they're doing, okay, now try not to get this refineries going. Now they've been able to give it to an individual. The government doesn't want to get involved, because if government can get involved in building a refinery, then there'll be no more way to be able to claim we are importing. Because if it is from that we are importing, that they are funding billions and trillions of dollars. From that we are importing. So if this thing can be, and that is the argument of the Nigerian Labour Congress now. That's what the Nigerian Labour Congress are saying. Okay, that's what they are saying. Since we became an oil-producing country, we produce in Port Harcourt and refine in Kaduna, eat in Kaduna. There is a life pipe from PH to Kaduna. Oil siphon resorted to less crude to Kaduna. PH was never utilized. It is a laying west. Okay. I hear you. Okay. Now they're trying to, I think there's now something about them finding oil in the north. If that is true, that is the country we have. Blessed country. But it's going to come to a situation where it's only few people that are just going to be on top of it. We have people that have oil wells, that have been having oil wells since God knows when. They couldn't put together an oil producing plant. But they have oil wells. The government gave them oil wells. And they're milking, they're sucking individuals in that country on something that belongs to the entire nation. They're not paying anything. They're not paying. They just gave that first money they gave, 1 billion or whatever they say they gave. Where is that money from? All these guys. This is why they fight to get into government. Not to be the servant of the people, but it's just to do this to the people. You know, just to do this to the people. So this is why they will not allow the federal government to have a processing plant. They can give it to these likes now, because part of the thing that they're saying now is that this Dangote refinery, it's not even his. It's a consortium. Okay, he's just fronting. They're fronting him. They're fronting Dangote on that refinery. But it's not him. But it's owned by the people in the government and stuff. So why would that be? Oil and gold has always been in the north. All the Chinese you see in Zamfara are buying raw gold. They will not. That one is something I'm preparing because I'm going to talk about this Zamfara issue in the days to come. Because this guy coming in, I think the present governor of Zamfara coming in, his asset declaration in cash was 9 trillion. A young guy, a young boy. I'm going to talk about that. I'm still trying. I'm doing my little investigation on that before I bring it up the air. But one of the things that is passing around now, his asset declaration is nine people. Listen to this: 9 trillion. I didn't say 9 billion. 9 trillion. An individual, a boy. So I did the people in Zamfara doing that thing in Zamfara. And the thing that is happening in Zamfara is on the hush hush. Nobody is even talking about it. We hear that gold, diamond, all these things are in Zamfara, and it's still one of the poorest states because some individuals have squeezed that state like this and been making the state. That is the country we have. That is the country we have. It's quite unfortunate. Okay. So to me, the president, like I said again, his intentions in announcing this thing, because they're saying that what they were actually announcing, that he's only echoing what was already on statue, what was already on the ground. Because it was already on the ground that by July they will stop the fuel subsidy. Not him. Not him. That was already the House of Assembly did not vote to continue the fuel subsidy past 2023, June. They did not vote to pass it. They didn't, it has been on the pipeline to stop it. So what the president people are saying now is that the president just only came in to echo it, that actually that is going to stop. But he didn't give a timeline. He didn't give a timeline. So what people did now are people who only hear go, they don't hear come back. They started rushing to the stations. And on rushing to the stations, the marketers took advantage of it because all of them are in the same bed. They all sleep together. The marketers took advantage of the people now and hiked the price on oil that is already in their domain. None of them has gotten new oil. They're still selling what they have. So why would you change it overnight? The way the policy should have been is you finish selling what you have. You now start selling based on your new inventory. But people are still dealing with their own old inventory that they bought for whatever. And now they hiked it because what? There was no contingency. There should have been some kind of policing in place. They enrich Chinese and still go back to buy fake things. He wants to create hardship so that Dangote will be their savior. I mean, but you see, all these things for an individual. All these things for an individual. This is why this country is what it is. You can never have an individual in this country dominate the economy the way an individual is dominating, or a few individuals are dominating our economy. They will call the person to the house and question him of his business activities. That is what the people who have those House of Assembly, that's the kind of thing they're supposed to be doing. If they see any kind of irregularity, they call you to question. We saw the other day here, they called the guy from TikTok. The people, the House of Representatives, they called him to have a time with him. They grilled him for 2 or 3 days. But not in Nigeria. Instead, they will go to bed with the person. They will go to bed with the person. And this is where we put them there so they can protect the interest of the general populace. But they will not do that. Instead, they will be taken here and there. That's why that's everything you see they file for politics is just to go and collect, not to go and serve the people. It's quite unfortunate. Honestly, it's quite unfortunate. Okay, this thing they've given him, this thing they've given Dangote, I'm not against it because somebody has to take it. Somebody must take it or should take it, since the government is not doing anything. So it was a room for him. It was a room for him. But the funny thing is that, is he the only one that they could have given such? Because we know what he was doing to us with the cement. We know what he was doing to us with the rice, with the sugar, everything they gave him a license to. He was holding Nigerians here. Now they're putting this thing now. They don't want to take care of their own. They don't want to do their own refinery. So to leave every monopoly power on this on Dangote. So he's going to come tomorrow and be selling this thing to us as 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira a liter. And we don't have a choice. And nothing is improving the financial pulse of the people. Nothing is improving their pulse. What happened in reviving the PH refinery? Okay. Look at what, when they opened up the, okay, for example, you see what they did with the telecommunication. They couldn't revive Nitel. Okay. So they opened it up. They went privatization. Okay. And they opened it up and people came in. There are people that are ready to, Shell is there. Okay, but they're siphoning and go, they're milking and going out. We can make it that you can only refine and sell in Nigeria. Nigeria is enough to consume whatever that is coming out. But no, it's just for them to be, Honestly, I don't know about you people, but you see, when I sit down and think of this, some of the things that are going on, and the fact that it should not be, it hurts. Honestly, it hurts seeing what is actually happening. They gave this thing to Dangote. They okay, now they also giving license to the Boa guy that is building one in Calabar. Okay. It costed Dangote $13 billion. That's what it costed him. Is it what Nigeria don't have? Is it what they cannot put a consortium in Nigeria and sell the licenses to people that can be able to put it together? So because when we have competition, the customers benefit from it. When there is, like we're having now with the telecommunication. If this one is not treating you well, you go to this one. But when you leave it in the hand of one person, as they're trying to do with this is refinery now, okay? Now he's also beginning to build. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, so that's where we are, okay? I believe that announcement was premature, okay? There was no contingency in place. There was no policing contingency in place, more than anything, okay? Policing in the sense that you put some kind of task force in place that'll be going around making sure, because there's a video I saw today of a guy that took it upon himself to start sealing gas stations that were hiking their prices. And he was making the same case we are making here. He was saying, why are you guys hiking this price on an old inventory? Why are you hiking the price? It's not like you have any new inventory that came in. Still some old inventory before this announcement was made. Why are you now hiking the price? So the guy now took it upon himself. Okay, I think he's a governmental person. Took it upon himself to start sealing some of these gas stations. And that's the kind of thing we need. Because they do this thing and they leave it in the hands of people to hurt people. Yeah, when they do these things, they do. Okay, they will not come out and say, well, it's the government. The government don't own these gas stations and stuff. It's the people that own the gas stations. So it's the people that are doing this thing. That's exactly the kind of game they play. But the point there is this. They announce policies, that leave people to start hurting people. Because the people that are still selling these things and hiking the price, hiking the prices of these things are regular people like me and you, trying to take advantage of one another. But it's a setup. It's all a setup. Nigeria is a country of setups. Honestly, there should be some kind of policing in place, task force in place, going around until the time the president deems it fit. Since he's saying that it wasn't supposed to start immediate, it was not an immediate action. When he announced it, he didn't intend it to be an immediate action. That's what his team are saying now. okay, that there is still time, and the NNPC people are saying that they have enough to be able to handle everything, then why did you guys, under your watch, sir? Why under your watch? You are the executive president, meaning you execute, you give orders. Why, for the past 2 days now, you've been seeing pictures, you've been seeing videos, okay, of your citizens sleeping in the gas station, okay, having this kind of encounter at the gas station. It's not supposed to be. Look at this woman. Look at this woman. These things are not supposed to be, sir. Policing will affect the common man. Why the accountability should come from the top? Yeah, but you see, the point is, you see, they put this policy in place, but it's the common man that is suffering the common man. That's the whole thing. It's the common man. So that is it. So policing, if the policing is going to affect the common man, so be it. We are not policing the people, we're policing the gas station owners. If they're buying high, they should sell high. But they bought cheap. So they're supposed to sell cheap. Period. The funny thing is that most of them have gases. They have gases there, and they're not selling. They're not selling. I've been to Abuja. I've been in Abuja several times when they have all these fuel situations. Okay, they will not sell during the day. That's how they do it. During the day, they will lock up the fuel stations. And Nigeria has so much fuel station that you can't even imagine. So we're not even supposed to be going through what we're going through now. There are so many, because I remember there was an era of fuel stations years ago when everybody was building a fuel station. So those fuel stations are still there. Okay, everybody was in oil and gas. So as it is now, nobody believes the government because the government is not policing. Wasn't it the government that did the announcement? The government did the announcement. So they're supposed to, all you have to do is, when they go and one station hears that there's a task force going around, making sure that people are selling at a particular price. You cannot allow people to be milked like this under your watch, and you're the executive president, and the new one indeed, when you're supposed to be pacifying people and pleasing people. Okay? Now you're making things hard. So that thing they're talking about, he still has some time to make money for the investors. Because I keep on hearing investors here, investors there. This is not about investors at this time. Because the investors at this point, as far as I'm concerned, they're completely irrelevant. The investors at this point are irrelevant. It is the people. People are still suffering from what happened in December. I said it about the money with the money situation. People are still not out of that dungeon. And you're coming up with this one. You're coming up with this one. And who knows what is next? Who knows what is next? That's another question. You know? So, Mr. President, I don't know when you get to my tape. Okay? But I do hear that you've seen some of my tape. Thank you, sir. But I don't know when you will get this one. Please, sir, revisit this situation. Okay? I know what you're saying is not enough unless there's some kind of policing all over the place, all over the country. People living in the village, just to tell you that people are buying for their generator because they don't have light. They don't have light. So this is a domino. As we see in this situation, is a domino situation. This one will hit this one, that one will hit the other one. And the situation will continue to fall. So, Mr. President, I beg of you, sir, revisit this situation. Revisit this situation. Put some kind of policing in place. Come out again. This is the one time we need you to come out again and make another announcement. Oh, yes. Nationwide, because this is a national crisis. Oh, yes, this is a national crisis. We have to call it what it is. People are going to die because of this. If you guys are talking about making people billions, some of these people, there are little things that this generator is doing for them, that they're standing here. Some of them are going to lose their livelihood and stuff based on this situation we are seeing now. You know? So please, you should come out again, and you now know the pulse of the nation. You should come out again and redirect this situation. Right now, it's not looking good for the nation. It's not looking good for your presidency. Okay? Coming in, you did not, on your mass set go. You didn't start well, sir. I'm being honest with you. These people were told to vote, change the currency, go to court and subsidize oil. I beg, let them protect themselves as best as they can. I hear you, Ngo. I hear you. But again, I would do say that reality bites. Reality bites. You see, I speak from the seat of reality. What is actually happening? That's why I was showing us those pictures of how the street is right now. This is not imaginary. This is not somebody staying there and wishing, is it going to be this way? No, this is actually happening. And it's a result of his policy announcement. Okay? Every item now are completely secondary and irrelevant. Every other situation right now, completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. Okay? I think the presidency should do something to, they should do something. They should do something. Moving on. Let's now go into the second part of our show, because we can talk about this all day today, honestly. Let us go into the second part of our show, which is the issue of a Nigerian Labour Congress. Okay, Comrade Joe Ajero, who is the current president of a Nigerian Labour Congress, honestly, he's a fiery guy. I love listening to that guy. He understands the trade. He stands his ground. Okay, he understands the trade and he stands his ground. He's no joke. This guy is no joke. He is as combative, fierce as it can be. So he came out now swinging. He came out swinging on the president and his announcement. Every single thing the president said, he went against them one by one. I don't know if you guys have seen him on what he wrote concerning what the president said. Let me see if I can get it, because I need to share a few lines with us of what he said. But while I'm looking for that particular side of the story, has any of you seen Nyesom Wike lately? I don't know if any of you have seen him lately. Nyesom Wike is not looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, Nyesom Wike is not looking good at all. He is just a shell of himself. Okay? He is not looking good at all. Whatever it is that caught him are just as he was about to leave the government. We still know that he's going to come again. Okay? We know that he's coming in again. If with this, his appointment, if it's true, he's still going to be in the government. But if you are sick, you are sick. If you are sick, you are sick. Nyesom Wike is not looking good. I wanted to chime that in because I just couldn't get up that picture that I saw of him, where he looks like he's on the stage 4, stage 4 of, you know what I'm talking about. He's not looking good at all. From where he was a month ago to where he is now. Even 2 weeks ago, where he is now. And it looks like he's going daily, he's deteriorating daily. So we don't know. But we only the people in the government that can, let me read this guy's statement, this guy's write-up the much I can on what he said to the president. He said, do not dare the people. That is the Nigerian Labour Congress. Now, they are out now, okay? Do not dare the people. We at the Nigerian Labour are outraged by the pronouncement of President Bola Tinubu removing fuel subsidy. I want you to pick up the points there. They are not happy with the pronouncement, okay? Without due consultation, okay, with critical stakeholders and without putting in place palliative measures to cushion the harsh effect of the subsidy removal. Okay, that's what he's saying. Okay, so being the Labour Congress, being the people that walk the ground, that understand the trenches and everything, they were not consulted. And I think now there's a meeting today. There's a meeting today by the Baba himself, the presidency. There's a meeting between him today, the Emefiele of Central Bank, and the NNPC people. And the word that is coming to me now is that it was a deadlock, so they couldn't reach anything. Okay, a meeting between him, the Nigerian Labour, the Nigerian Labour people were not called into that meeting. Okay, it was the presidency people, the money people, which is the central bank, and the NNPC. Okay, so what are they trying to figure out? Maybe, can you imagine what is going on that meeting or in that meeting? Okay, Emefiele is there. Do we have enough money to dish out palliative? Maybe that's what the president is asking. And he's asking the NNPC, do we have enough fuel to be able to sustain so and so till time? That might be what is going on right now. Okay, on that meeting, but I'm hearing that meeting was deadlocked. Okay, so coming back to so they say within hours of his pronouncement, the nation went into a tailspin due to a combination of service shutdown and product price hike. Service shutdown and product price hike. Okay, services were shut down because of that announcement. Services were shut down, and the price of things went up. When the money, the people's income did not even move an inch. So for them, they were talking about investors, making money for investors and stuff. These investors, Nigeria is a capital economy per se. Okay, where 70% of the people are on the street doing business. 70% of the people are on the street doing business. And that 70% of the people are the people that see the money, that play with this money every day. The other 20% are stealing it from somewhere. The 70% or even 80% are suffering on the tail end of this money chain, while the people at the top are stealing what the small people are making. Nonsense. By his now listening to what they're saying. This is Ajero, Nigerian Labour people. This is what they're saying. By his insensitive decision, President Tinubu on his inauguration day brought tears and sorrow to millions of Nigerians instead of hope. No doubt. He equally devalued the quality of their lives by over 300% and counting. It is no heroism to commit against the people this level of cruelty at any time, let alone on the inauguration day. That's what we're saying. That inauguration day is not even the day to make this kind of announcement. So this is how the people are seeing the president jump off now. Yes, they're looking at it. That might not be what he meant. Let me say this again. That might not be what he meant, but I hold his policy makers, I hold them responsible, because that's why he has them there. All those people, when he was talking about transitional team and all those people, okay, there were some economists there, okay, there were different kind of people in that transitional team. So this is what they came up with. This is what they came up with. This is what they say, go give to the people that day. Go announce this to the people. This is what they came up with. This is the kind of situation the president has to look around and sack everybody, because they now made him look so bad. This again might come to play someday, this issue of fuel subsidy removal. Did Buhari himself sat on it for years, never wanted to touch it. Excuse me. Buhari never wanted to touch it. Okay? Buhari never wanted to touch this. You came in first day in office, you make this kind of announcement. I'm not saying that he touched it, but the announcement he made now made it look like that was his plan coming in. We wonder if President Tinubu gave a thought to why his predecessor in office refused to implement this highly injurious policy decision. Okay, that's what I just said now. We have chosen to reproduce substantial part of the statement for the benefit of those who did not have the opportunity of reading them. Okay, Nigerian Labour Congress, they are something else. They've gone to reproduce the statement in their own way. Look at what they are saying now. Okay, a bastard already, he changed the system in place. And what is the remedy? No, I can't imagine. I can't even think of the remedy on it, like they're saying. As Nigerians gathered with their family and friends to celebrate the new year, the federal government was baking a national cake wrapped in the scheme that will insanely make the new year a bitter one. Okay, that will insanely make the new year a bitter one. By this slight piece of paper, the federal government breached the social contract with the people. This government has turned its back on the collective will. By bureaucracy, fiat government made the most faithful economic decision any administration made since the inception of the Fourth Republic, and has done so with the arrogance and wave of hand, as if, okay, you see what he's saying here? And he said that he did that with no humanity, with no humility or humanity in human feelings. The way he did that announcement. Okay, that's what they're saying here. At this point, we know not to where this anger will lead. In good conscience, we pray against violence. Also, in good conscience, it is the duty of every citizen to peacefully demonstrate and record their opposition to this draconian measure that is swiftly crippling the economy more than to ever cure it. By taking this step, the government has tossed the people into the depth of midnight sea. Government demands the people swim to safety under their own power, claiming that the attendant hardship will build character and add efficiency to the national economy. It is easy to make this claim when one is dry and unsure. Government will have us that every hardship it manufactures for the people is to endure good thing. Yeah. So yeah, that's what they're saying. The government believe that whatever they do for the people, like I said earlier on, Nigeria are so good in suffering. And this government has studied the Nigerian people and their pause that they can throw anything on us and we'll suffer. Look at what we went through in December. Look at what the people went through in December. And some people were still playing with this money. And some people were still playing with this money when the entire nation was crippled. But there were some people whom, when this announcement was made, okay, it was made that this money was to deprive them of having this money. But the people who were depriving this money were the people that were playing with the money. Now they're doing this one now, saying that they're doing this thing to deprive the people that were taking advantage of the fuel subsidy. That it was not the regular people. That is these people that were doing fraud and committing crimes and stuff. That they're the people they're going to be hitting. Now lie. And that's what Nigerian Labour Congress are out here and are saying. Now lie. If you read this thing, I can't go through. I mean, this looks like pages and pages of response to the president's speech. Because that's what they did. They were responding to the president line by line. Everything the president did, they responded to it line by line and more. Okay, completely disregarding and tearing apart every claim. Because everything the president did that day was to make clear why certain policies should stay and why they are doing what they're doing. And Nigerian Labour Congress are coming out and saying, listen, we the people are the people on the trenches. We know this thing more than anybody else. Okay, we know this thing more than anybody else. So you should have consulted us. You should have spoken to us before you start doing this. Before you go out there and start making this announcement, then we will tell you what will work and what will not work. You don't come to these gas stations to buy gas, sir. You don't come to the street, to the market to buy anything. You don't walk the street. No, we do walk the street. We know the market. We know the people. We are the people. So you ask us how things are going. Then we tell you. Before you now start drafting policies for us. All of a sudden, they came up with this. Okay? So, I mean, we know that we know this about them, that the first subsidy is about government ideas on the role of money in bettering in bettering the lives of people, about the relationship between government and the people, and about the primary objective of government interaction in the economy. It is about whom and among the various Nigerian social class does government value. Government is saying that they're doing this thing to protect the investors. Now, I want to, that's why I said this thing earlier on, okay, that they're doing this thing to protect the investors. That's what government is saying. That's what they're saying, because it's all about protecting and making money for the big boys. And they forget that 90% of Nigerians are not big boys. And they are the people that you have vowed to come and serve. It's the people. So you're saying that everything you're doing now is to protect the investment of these big boys and stuff. Why the big boys themselves are the boys that are the ones making this thing. All the people, common people want, what they want, okay, the regular Nigerian, all they want is not to go through this. They want to be able to come through the gas station, buy gas, and and go and suffer as they're suffering until the day death will take them. Okay, so you are saying that this is, so that's what the Nigerian Labour Congress are saying, that thing, all these claims they're making is lies. These are the people. And what they are not forgetting is that these people are sleeping. For the time being, these people are holding on. For the time being. If these people are to come out on the street, these people we are seeing here now, if they open the floodgate of these people and they come out on the street, now wahala. And this thing is brewing. It's brewing, is getting there. Because people are going to be fighting at these gas stations. Okay? People's cars are going to be, people are going to be, how they drive over there, somebody trying to cut off the other person and stuff. So frustration, a lot of things are going to happen to people through this thing. A lot of things are going to happen to people. And these policy think tank people are not thinking of this. These people that were paying billions to think for us, imagine things for us, to see tomorrow for us, none of them are seeing this thing happening at the gas station. Then that means all these economists, we don't have anybody, including these people that came in and introduced this money situation that crippled the nation for almost 2 months. And they're starting another one. What they are not realizing is Nigerian Labour Congress, if they open up, they are holding these people behind the gate. If they open up, if they open this gate, honestly, I don't even know. Okay, so every single claim the president, like I said again, the president claimed why things are going to be better. This and yeah, it's going to be better someday, but it is the person that lived today that will talk about tomorrow. If you're not even sure of living today, how are you going to be sure of talking? Why you can't even be talking about tomorrow? These people have money, they have everything to plan their lives ahead of time. The people that are talking about tomorrow. The ordinary man on the street is just day by day. Give us this day our daily bread. That is exactly how the common man thinks and feels. And that's how it is, and that's what we know. So this thing is not sitting well. It's not sitting well, and every single day that goes by, that gate, they're pushing on that gate. They're pushing. Make them not push that gate open, no. Make them not push that gate open. Whatever that I've been able to hear them together and hear them at bay, might be getting tired, honestly, with this kind of policy decisions. Honestly. But again, we are watching. We see where this thing takes us. We see where it goes. All right. Now, let's go to the other part of our show, the last part of our show, which is P2B. Because in the midst of all these things, it looks like we're forgetting that P2B is still in court. And this is what some people are afraid. Okay, it looks like we are now getting used to, we're getting used to the presidency now. This is the second day. Okay. There's a show I'm putting together about all these, what would I call it again? All these prophecies that came, all these prophecies that came through, all these pastors, all of them that said it will not happen, this happen, that will happen, all these people. One of these days I'm going to bring them all out here, and we'll ask them what happened, how market, because a bad market is sold to the people, and I don't even know the face they are having now. I don't know the face all those people that, because they were saying all those things and people were building their hopes on all those their nonsense prophecies. That's why I refuse to carry any of them, because I know that all those prophecies were empty prophecies. I refuse to carry any single one of those things they were saying. People were taking advantage of it, giving people false hope about what is to be and what may not happen or be. Eventually now, we're talking about the second day. Okay, the president is still in the big house, and chances is that he might be there for a long time. So that's what we want to talk about right now. Okay, so I'm saying to us, it looks like we're going to come to terms with that and start accepting. But it's just when we see this kind of situation now of this fuel thing or whatever else that is coming, then it will make us go like, really? You know what I mean? So the case is still on. The case is still on. I say to us here that with what I know now, as much as I've known it for some time, and I try to walk on some careful path. P2B's Lego team, I don't know if this journey, if this journey is for them. If you guys will remember, I said it some time ago. I said the Levy guy, the senior guy is not that fiat. That he's playing it because you're going against INEC, you're going against Tinubu, you're going against APC, the three titans. So you cannot be soft in any way, shape, or form. You have to come out with the best of the best. I can't even tell us how many injunctions that the POB's camp have called for and asked for. And the court is gladly giving it to them. The court is gladly giving it to them. And they continue to remind them with the opposing counsel, continue to remind them that they're eating into their time. So what am I saying here? Almost every day we go to court. P2B's people will come short. It's either they don't have these documents, or they stay asking for this document, or they're not producing this document, or they don't even know that this document is being asked. All kinds of nonsense. And P2B is in court. P2B is in the court, inside that courtroom with them. And this is a timing issue. They took adjournment until 29 came. I said it to us here. I said the only person that have a short date, I started saying it. If you guys remember when Baba was still in London, I started saying it on this show. I said the only person that has a short date now is Tinubu. For that 29, that 29 is written. He's a short banker. I said it, and it came to be. And the obese people, like I said, every day they go to court, they ask, Your Honor, can you give us tomorrow? The honors there, that's what they're looking for. And they want them coming into before they start on this. They say, listen, we would like to do this case at so and so time, with so and so urgency. But we know you guys, you lawyers, the way you do things. Okay? You're going to come here now and be asking for this and prolonging this. And eventually, who are the people doing that? P2B's people. And they are the prosecuting counsel. They go in there every day not fully prepared. They go in there every day not fully prepared. So it is on that premise we're asking. It's on that premise we're now asking. Is his chances diminishing by day? Based on what we've seen so far, based on the reports we're getting from the courtroom so far, forget about all these people that are making things up and coming out and using it to pursue clout on the social media. There's a reality of what is happening in the courtroom, and that's where I stand. And I try to call it as I see it. I'm not going to be singing choruses of the wannabes and wishful thinking. Now, this is reality. What is actually happening? What are the judges saying? What are the lawyers saying? What are the opposing counsel saying? What is actually happening in court? And so far, let us call it as it is. The obese people, obese people are not doing it. Obese people are not doing it. They're coming short. Just since last week, they asked for more than 3 or 4 in extensions per se. They have, and the judge is giving it to them. The judge is giving it to them, and at every instant, the judge wants to remind them that you are eating into your time. I believe they have 3 weeks to produce how many witnesses? And today they came. I don't even think they produced any witness. They came today to argue about a paper they don't have by their own omission. That's what we are seeing, people. That's what we are seeing. And that's why we are not saying, is his chances? Because every single day, oh Lord, every single day that goes by, that Baba is in that house, okay? In as much as Baba just started on the wrong foot. But he, if it's not happening in the courtroom, he has chances to amend. And I said it to us here last week. What if he comes in as much as, again, maybe he didn't hear me when I was saying that one, because I would have wished him to come in and start putting some good policies, start putting things that people will be like, wow, we now have a new president. Instead of this kind of policy that is going to make people to say the same omo. Okay, but in the courtroom, these people are not winning. They've already lost 3 in counting. If you guys are not even following up, 3 judgment has gone to the favor of APC and INEC. Yes, if we are not even remembering, 3 judgments. We saw the one that happened last week with the Shetima ruling. In as much as obese people can obese people still have their own. But, I mean, at each of those losses, it affects people, how they feel and what, And if this president now start doing the right stuff, pressing the right buttons, every single right button he presses now is a chance. It's minus for P2B. Exactly with what is happening in the courtroom, because we are not getting any election. We are not getting any kind of victory, feeling in that courtroom. Nothing has been ruled in their favor yet. Nothing. Every ruling that has come by has been against either PDP or against him. Let me, because I really don't want to miss that this time. Okay, I talked to us about, I spoke to us about his speech, the speech that he gave. I spoke to us about that speech. Let me see if I can get that speech now. Okay. And on that speech, I want us to look at it. I want us to look at this speech line by line. I want us to decipher this speech line by line. Those of us that are on. Okay. So then you can tell me if this speech is coded or not. Maybe people are still sleeping. We can wake them up. I don't even know how we're gonna wake them up. I don't know how we're gonna wake them up, honestly. Okay. But look at the Peter B speech the other day, a day before the inauguration. I want you to listen to this speech and sink it in. He said, for all Nigerians, this is the time for deep reflection. This is an admission right there. Because based on what was about to happen the next day, which was the inauguration, because at that moment, he's now coming to terms. And we're now coming to terms that nothing contrary to stop the inauguration will take place, was in place. That's why he was saying this. Listen, it is also time to re-examine our assumptions. I want you to listen to the things here. Listen to this now. Okay? It is also time for us to re-examine our assumptions. He's talking to me and you. Even as we reaffirm our hope, let us calmly review our aspirations in order to recalibrate our expectations and pin down the causes of our missed opportunities. Really? So he was not admitting that there were missed opportunities. Okay? So let us recalibrate our expectation. Because our expectation was like, it's not going to happen, this is not going to be, this is not. Now, he's coming now telling us this. I want us to look at the coded words that are in this. Because so you don't come out tomorrow and say you didn't hear him. He didn't say so. This is him on Sunday, on that speech that was announced that he was going to make. Let us calmly review our aspirations in order to recalibrate our expectations and pin down the causes of our missed opportunities and disappointments. We stand at a critical moment in time when, as a people, we must collectively come to grips. Watch this line. When, as a people, we must collectively come to grips with the reality of our injured destiny, as well as the reason for that injury. It is for us to reassess our plight as a young democracy and identify a clear pathway to a better and greater future for us all. As we await the verdict of the election tribunal, I urge all Nigerians to use this opportunity to renew their commitment to the Nigerian ideal. That ideal remains noble and worth every sacrifice we make. Nigeria remains our patrimony, and it is a patrimony we must protect rather than violate. We have no other nation but this. So, we have no other nation but this. So let us remain committed to rescuing and rebuilding it. The judiciary is a part of the democratic enterprise, and a critical governance tool for determining the propriety of the decision and the action of every citizen and every institution of state. To that extent, and for that reason, I urge everyone to treat it with respect and dignity it deserves. We expect that the Nigerian judiciary will use the election cases now before it to reaffirm the independence and integrity it has to do so for all our sake and for itself. Nigeria must therefore remain peaceful and law-abiding, no matter the depth of anyone's reservation about what is going on in the polity today, no matter the real and imagined provocation, and no matter the disagreement out there. We should remember that this will not last forever. I remain committed and untiring in my determination to work with like-minded fellow Nigerians to end the cause of missed opportunities and squandered hope that has become our lot here. I will never shrink from the original commitment, okay? Because I firmly believe that we must change from the present politics of criminality and corruption in order to make a new Nigeria possible. I call on fellow Nigerians, especially the youth, to remain steadfast, calm, patient, and peaceful. Our journey may be too long, but may be long and difficult, but it's worthy in every way. Victory is assured. We have to work together to move our beautiful country from corruption and criminality to the center of productivity rather than aimless consumption. I am aware of some evil designs being hatched against me and my supporters in the coming months. Okay? Effort will be made to taint my image. Campaigns of calumny are being perfected to defame my character and diminish my hard-earned integrity. These schemes will aim at degrading our support base and confusing the public. But no evil campaign will alter the substance of my character, nor diminish my patriotic commitment to a better Nigeria. It's about the future of our youths. It's about the end of years of low cost. In all this, I thank our great party, our great party, LP and Media. The latter and the fourth estate of the realm has remained a trusted ally. This estate must continue to guide our people on the immense promise of a future and new Nigeria. God bless Nigeria and protect our troops, keeping us safe in the season of voting insecurity. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now you had him, okay? There are some things there he said, okay, that made me a little bit, in as much as a long time ago, I have accepted the situation, made peace with the situation, so that I will live. Yeah. So that I will not die in high blood pressure. Why I'm thinking, okay? So I decided to make that peace within me, and I'm asking you guys to do that tonight. He is coming to terms of what he's preparing us for what may be. Now, this was before the inauguration. He knew that inauguration would take place. He knew that all the nonsense that were being paraded on the social media about it's not going to happen, people that are saying they will kill themselves, all these things that people were saying that will happen that day, none of them happened. A day after, none of them happened. Instead, we know where we are now. We know where we are now. Instead. Okay? So, he knew this. He saw this coming. He did. He saw this coming. You know what I'm saying? He saw this coming. So that is why he's making this, saying all these things he was saying to the people. That's why he was saying these things he was saying to the people. So as it stands right now, this is the man. This is the man. In as much as some of the shots so far, like we've said, are not good. Some of the shots, the two of them, well spoken. You must respect to be respected. The judiciary put the nail on the coffin and failed the people. Okay. The judiciary put the nail on the coffin and failed the people. Ngo, let me say this. Honestly, let me say this. Let me get this picture out, because what I want to say now. Let me say this. One of the things I said before at the beginning of this show, not today's show, but the show that is happening with the judiciary. In as much as I'm disappointed, as every one of us are, on the fact that they couldn't let the camera inside the courtroom. Okay? There are so much to learn here. There's no doubt. So much to learn. Okay? But one of the things I came to terms with is trying to. Long time ago, I took off my my subjective codes. I took it out a long time ago, almost a month or so ago. Okay, I took it off. Okay, being the sentimental part of me, as regards to the principal people be, I honestly took it off a long time ago. Because when I started seeing things and feeling things and hearing and as most of us were, Okay. Then when we started seeing some of the things that were happening in the courtroom, because the reason why I'm saying this tonight is because of what you said here. Where did you say that? Here. What you said here, where you said the judiciary put the nail on the coffin and failed the people. Okay. I told us at the beginning of this judiciary that they're going to be looking at two things. Two things. Their duty is to interpret the Constitution, what the Constitution says at all times. That's their duty. Okay? That's their duty. And if you're coming into their courtroom, mostly these guys, okay, you have to make sure that you are working within the confines of the law. You are not coming out there to set precedent. You are not coming out there to make new laws, because that is not the place for that. If you want to make new laws, you go to the House of Assembly. If you want to make new laws. But they are there to define and interpret and make clearer what is there. Because sometimes these lawyers come in like they are aloof. Some of these lawyers, they come in there, you say to yourself, this person coming here to talk about this or argue this, don't they know this before going into this courtroom? And these judges, when you come into their courtroom, okay, aloof or ignorant, they will give it to you. They will make you look stupid. Some of these judges. And that is what we've been seeing. That is what we've been seeing so far. Take, for example, the one with PDP. The one with PDP. PDP already lost that case at the High Court. Okay, this issue with Shetima, the double nomination with Shetima. They already lost that case at the High Court. Now, I'm saying this because of what you said about the judiciary. They lost the case at the High Court. They lost the case at the Appeals Court. And they took it to the Appeals Court, the highest court of the land. What do you think is going to happen? They are not going to try to, how do we put it, convent the will. They are going to stay on the status quo. Because if the High Court ruled against you and the Appeals Court rules against you, the Supreme Court, chances in the 90s are that they will also rule against you. And if any of these rulings are coming down, the Constitution is being quoted for you. Either the rules, the rule book, or the Constitution, because these are the two things they're looking at. The rule book, meaning the INEC rule book, and I said it to us here, going in, they're going to look at what the Constitution says first. If the Constitution is mute on that subject, they will now look at the standing rule from the agency involved, which is INEC. And this issue of Shetima is an INEC rule. It's not a constitutional issue. It's an INEC rule. Okay? Well, most of these issues are first. I mean, I don't know if we've had a constitutional amendment. Okay? But this is not the time to start arguing about the Constitution. If the Constitution is silent on it, fine. If the Constitution echoed the matter, that's what it is. If they give you Nigerian Constitution now, I bet you there are so many things there you're going to look and say, even our common social clubs here, the Constitution doesn't cover everything. There are certain things you will hear. You say, did people sit down and put down this thing? So most times it doesn't happen until you get to it. Then when you get to it, as we do here, when we do some of these meetings we do here, whatever we agree on that meeting, that it becomes a bylaw, we do say. But that's not how it is in the Constitution. No. That's not how it is in the Constitution. The Constitution is a little bit different. So, if we say that the Constitution failed the entire nation, now we are saying this because of we are involved. We have a candidate that some of the things are not favoring. So we're not looking at the candidate. We're not looking at the Constitution. That the Constitution is. But if anything, if Peter Obi can be able to take advantage of the Constitution, we'll be clapping for the Constitution. we'll be saying that the Constitution here is absolute. We'll be saying that, clapping, and saying, yes, the drafters of this Constitution, the forefathers of the, that they, I mean, they are intelligent, they are wise, they are this, they are that, and that. You know what I mean? But here, yes, who can report at the center? What time can be reported in the PDP case? Definitely. So that's exactly what I'm saying here. The lawyers knew this going in. When they lost that case and the Constitution was quoted to them at the High Court, why taking it to the appeals court again? Why taking it there? Why taking it to the appeals court? Why taking and you went to the appeals court sustained the judgment of the High Court. That tells you a whole lot. And you took it to the Supreme Court. Milking the person, lying to the person that you can make a case out of no case. Because they were lying to these people. They were lying to, which I hope these guys are not lying to P2B now too. Because these lawyers, that's what they care about. They care about the money. So long as you're paying them, that's why they prolong these cases and stuff, so they can build their time and stuff. But that's not what we need at this point. We need people who are really committed to winning. So when you go in there, and now you're now allowing the judges to use the Constitution to flog you as a lawyer, as a lawyer, honestly, you don't want to go in front of a judge and argue something you know that is frivolous. Or the court will tell you that what you're saying here does not have merit. PDP should report after the swearing in, unless APC member report before the swearing in. It is nonsensical. Yes, definitely. What you're saying here was what they were saying is a party matter. The only person that could have made a case is somebody from APC, not somebody from PDP. PDP is supposed to be talking about this after the election, which is what P2B is doing now. That is why P2B's own still have some light. But PDP own supposed not to come post pre-election, because they started going against this Shetima team before the election, and the court is saying to them, no, you cannot come here and start talking about this. The only person that can come and start making a case out of this is somebody from the same party with him, not an outside party. And they showed it to them constitutionally on the rule book, and they still went to the appeals court to appeal the nonsense. So P2B, understanding this thing, did not do the same filing with them. P2B waited, because the only time another party can now come against what PDP was seeking for is after the election, which is what P2B did. That's when they did their own submission. They submitted their own issue on this matter after the election. That's why I told us a few days ago, I said P2B, in as much as PDP lost on this one, P2B still has his own case that will be had in the future. So what we are saying here is that if you're going to go in there, don't go in there trying to go and make Newton, because what they're going to tell you is that you don't have a local standee. A local standee. You don't have you don't have a case. You don't have a case in front of us. And the moment they say that they've said it, these judges are not. They're not into talking too much or trying to explain too much. The moment they know that your case is flawed, they will allow you to come in there and make a mess of yourself, and they will not tell you that you don't have a case. Simple. If you want to argue more, they will just take one part of the Constitution that you are not, as a lawyer, you are not looking at. They will take it and throw in your face and say, get out. And I pray that will not happen to P2B's people, because that's what the P2B's people, that's exactly where they're going now with the way they're presenting this their nonsense. Honestly. The way they're presenting this thing now, they're looking like the judges are going to listen to all this, whatever they're saying. At the end of the day, they'll tell them, the Constitution said this, the Constitution said that. Because this thing now, everyone is jumping up that they submitted their first documents, this and that and that. That document is already in question. Because when that lawyer was being, as that Lawrence lawyer, that Lawrence lawyer, when he was asked about that document, he was fumbling. They asked him about the police in the US. They asked him about the police in the US, certifying the document he has. He said no, that is the sheriff. And the nonsense guy could not tell them that the sheriff is also police. When it comes to that, it's the sheriff that handles those court papers. It's the sheriff that handles that. That guy, a lawyer. This is a lawyer now who's a witness, and they couldn't prepare him to that extent. Here is the sheriff that handled those things. The sheriff are the law enforcement that handle anything that got to do with the courts. And that guy couldn't do that, and his lawyers could not, the abuse lawyers could not correct that particular thing, flaws. You know? So honestly, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I haven't even looked at what happened today, but in the morning when I was looking at when I was reading what was going on in the morning, it wasn't looking good. But they're still asking for days. They're still asking for extension. Like they are not prepared. Because when a lawyer comes to court and start asking for adjournment, you are the one asking for adjournment. The prosecuting counsel. On a case, you have a timetable. Yeah, Lawrence was either scared, threatened, or has taken bribe. Thank you. Let us say it as it is. Like I said to us, I'm going to come here and tell you people as it is. I'm glad you're seeing this thing now. God, you know, if you guys have read this thing we're talking about now, this Lawrence guy, whom was their lead witness. His presentation in court, he's a lawyer, meaning that they could have, because there's a reason why they took a lawyer, they didn't take an ordinary citizen. Because he's supposed to understand everything about the court. And that guy went there and was fumbling left and right. No wonder they couldn't produce another witness after that time, that day. They asked them, do you guys have another witness? Oh, Lord. I don't even know how Obi goes to court every day. Nobody else comes to court. Nobody comes to court. He goes to court every day. And I try to imagine him sitting down there and watch his lawyers, you know, do this fumbling they're doing. And these guys are paid well. These guys are paid well. Well, people, that's the much I have today. That's the much I have today. Let me go back and start, you know, but we do have a president, okay? We do have a president. I'm just praying that policy-wise that he will be making the right decisions, calling the right shots, because so far, a couple of them he has called is not too good. Couple of them he has called are not too good for us. I don't know if they prepare their clients. In America, you pay the attorney sit and prepare you on your case. Well, that's another thing too. I don't know to what extent they do prepare their clients over there, though. You're right. You know, they are witnesses. You know, I don't know to what extent, but they have all this time. They have all this time to prepare whomever they're going to be calling as a witness. And if you're going to go into that courtroom and get intimidated by the opposing counsel or by the judges, forget it. Courtrooms are not an easy place to be. So, I have this, if you guys will remember, I said it, people. I said, not every evidence is as convincing as because not what you see on the street or what we saw during that election, we think everything is going to fly. I said that people are going to come in and defend this. People are going to come in. This guy, the reason why they call this guy is because of something he wrote about this or whatever. He has something to do with the papers they were submitting. So they can't just submit papers without somebody, coming to defend what they're submitting. So every video, I said it here, if you guys will remember, I said every video, every tape, every picture, anything they're going to submit here as an evidence, somebody will come in to defend that, because the opposing counsel will ask you a question. The president cabinet is already a crisis for Nigeria. Well, you are saying that one. You are saying that one. My only thing is that what is happening in the tribunal is not making it easy. What is happening in the tribunal is not making it easy. Because if they are performing at the tribunal and the president is faltering as he just started, then the confidence will be there. But the point is that the president didn't start well to some people. Okay, he didn't start well to some people. So the president didn't start well to some people, and in the courtroom they're not doing well. So now 1-1. Both sides are not doing well. So now 1-1. Nobody's up against each other. That's what it is. And we'll have to call it that. So we'll have to call it that. We'll have to say it as it is. It's 1-1. They're not doing good at the courtroom. The president is not starting well. So right now, who has a better chance? It's the president. It's the president. He has a better chance than what is happening in the courtroom. Has a better chance. Because all the people need, people are scared, Jerry, for Party Tommy to be appointed a minister. Biko Amandia Neze. Okay. I don't even know if that was confirmed. I don't even know. Did you confirm that part of Tommy's on? That list that I gave us yesterday, that's another thing. Has any of you confirmed it? I've been so busy with other, things I'm researching that I have never gone back to confirm that list. So I don't know if anybody did confirm that list that the things I presented yesterday. Okay, yes. So you confirmed it to be true? Did you confirm the list to be true? The part to Tommy is indeed an appointee. It's quite unfortunate, honestly. I'm not going to say it's quite unfortunate. I'm still believing on the president, still believing in him, that, like I said I wrote him yesterday, I said to him, "Sir, I'm wishing you well. I pray that health will treat you well so that you can be able to fulfill destiny for the nation." Because that's where we are now. If Peter B comes in there, we'll do the same thing. We'll do the same thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. It has been quite an evening. It's a little bit different from me sitting on this seat that I am doing the show. I can't wait to get back to the studio. I can't really wait to get back there. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate, Nigeria. I can't wait to get back to the studio. It's a little bit different when I'm in the studio doing this than when I'm sitting down where I'm sitting now. The lighting is a little bit, the lighting in the studio is completely what it is, meant for the studio. But here, it's different. You can see how but anyways, the most important thing is that you guys had me tonight, and I read you guys. I had you guys, I read you guys, I saw you guys. So that's the most important thing, okay? So let me go back and see what we prepare for what is coming up tomorrow. As the reality is sitting on. The reality is sitting. The reality, is kicking. It has kicked in and is sitting. So every passing day it sits. Okay, every person there, it sits. That actually, that's, because some people thought that this day will not come. It will never happen. I'm still saying all those prophets, Mankuku Mankenta, every single one of them that prophesied that, all those people were just pursuing clouds. They were just pursuing clouds. They know they were lying through their teeth and nose and eyes and ears and everywhere. They know they were not being honest to the people. But that's what the people wanted to hear. And they took advantage of it and started selling nonsense to the people. Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow, my people, thank you, my princess. Thank you. Yes, we'll continue tomorrow. More, we'll bring it up more. If any of you have anything else, we'll bring it on tomorrow. We'll continue. Okay. Thank you. So again, thank you. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. Thank you. All right. So let's go and share this show. I didn't share it at the beginning. So let's go and share it now after the show. Okay. Let's go and share it. So, because that's when people, if you guys look at the numbers, it grows. It grows by morning. It goes from nothing to something by morning. That has been our show every day. Some people do come in because we're doing live now. So to those of you that come on live, I thank you so very much for making that time to be with us. And for those of you that come after also, who for one reason or the other do not make it or cannot make it during the live shows, but do come and watch the show after, I thank you so very much also. We're all in this together, okay? This is the new Nigeria. This is the new Nigeria, and we are in it. All right. So please, if you have not subscribed or follow us, I thank the 5,000 of you that are following us now. I thank you so very much, and we're waiting for Facebook to open up more numbers because a whole lot of you are on the waiting to come in to follow us. Okay. So I'm waiting for them to open that door for us so that you guys can come in. Because right now they just capped us at 5,000 something. Okay, the way they do their stuff. Okay, so thank you every single one of you, and I look forward to seeing us tomorrow. Okay, from all of us here in the studio, in as much as I'm not in the studio, but from all of us here, I still remain yours truly, SBI. Until next time, family, thanks for watching.